Welcome. Welcome to the Fairy Wren Nest, Laurika.
Thank you.
Good morning, Tash. How are you? Welcome. Lots of love. Thank you for joining us. And we have the beautiful Laurika with us today. So we're welcoming everyone to the Fairy Wren Nest. It's almost time. Yep, we're right to go, aren't we, Laurika?
Yeah, I'm ready.
So I'd like to introduce a friend of mine, one of my newer friends, and it's Laurika Bretherton. So welcome, Laurika. Lots of love, Tash, and welcome to Tash. Tash, this is Laurika. So welcome to the Friendship Circle. Welcome to the little Friendship Circle here today and to the Fairy Wren Nest. And, welcome. We've got Wolf. Hi, Wolf. Welcome. And we've got the beautiful Rain from Spiritual Rain. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. I'm so grateful to have you as friends, and I know you all here. we all chitter-chat amongst each other. So this is Laurika, everybody. She's flown into the Fairy Wren Nest, and she is from Sweden. And good morning. At this moment, at this place in time, Laurika lives in Sweden. And hello, beautiful Tracy. Welcome, darling. So lovely to have you. Welcome so much to everybody to the Friendship Circle. So happy to have you. And, of course, welcome to Laurika.
Thank you.
Welcome, Laurika.
Hi, everybody.
And thank you for accepting my invitation. So if anyone knows from the little invitation, Laurika is a writer. But that's for Laurika to explain, but she's so much more, aren't you, Laurika?
I am many things, and one thing is I always think like labels. I struggle with labels, because I don't know how to define myself. But because we use words in society, you have to use something to say what you do and who you are. So, but for me, I find it really hard because I do so many things. So yes, I'm a writer, and I'm a healer, and I'm a dreamer. So I call myself these three things. And like Evie says, I write books that's published on Amazon, and my healing work has to do mainly with Reiki. I teach Reiki for many years now. I do tarot card readings, and I also teach people how to meditate. And I focus a lot on the Buddhism aspect of healing, if you can call it that, because I think we're all on this journey of healing. So wherever we can help each other out, we do that. And and when it comes to dreaming, I think I call myself a dreamer because when I've always dreamed. I've dreamed up stories, and my whole life is like a dream. Sometimes I don't feel awake half the time. And when I was in school, I used to get these report cards coming back from the teacher saying, Laurika is daydreaming too much. And it just kept on going since I was a child. It has never stopped. So for me, these three things are just completely the same. Even though they have different names, I call myself different things. It's all the same thing in the end. It just works together. So
is that explaining who the beautiful Laurika is?
Yeah, I would say that. Oh, thank you, Rain.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah. Oh, welcome, Nina.
Hi, Nina. It's good to see you.
Lovely to see you. Is that Nina Inanna?
Yeah, Nina is one of my tarot friends that
Oh,
joined us. Yeah. Good to see
lovely,
you, Nina.
lovely to see you, Nina, and to everybody that's joined
Yes.
us. I'm not sure, and what I just put up there what beautiful Rain said, Laurika. Yeah, the label you choose to describe you is wonderful. And I
Thank
like
you,
what you
Ray.
say about, thank you for that, Rain. I like what you say about labels. I struggle, especially outside of a career. Now I'm not working at the moment. I've worked all my life, and this year I'm sort of as free as a bird. And I do a bit of fill-in
Wonderful.
work. I still do fill-in work for emergency where I used to work, and I'm doing that in a couple of weeks. Now that my son's grown up, and I struggle to define a little bit now that all that's gone. It's like when you have to go for a job interview and you have to say what your goals are, what you do. I struggled with that, and would often go to interviews not being able to get my words out.
Yeah.
Because
I don't
I
like
was
those
kinda like,
questions.
no, and especially when you had to talk about work, and I just
Mm.
say, I just lead a simple life, and I would like to be humble, but you can't say that really at a job interview. You have to, you more or
They're
less have
like,
to
okay,
say,
here's the door.
you'd go skydiving or something.
Yeah. It's
So
so true. It's so true. I find that it's such a difficult question because who can say where you see yourself in 5 years? Where do you see yourself in 2 years? I mean, look at us, how the world is right now compared to 5 years ago. How would you ever? You can't describe because life happens and the universe has plans for you and you make all these plans, which is great. It's great
yes,
to make plans, and like I say, I'm a dreamer. I dream my life, but it doesn't always happen, and it doesn't always have to happen. It doesn't. You
yes,
can dream it, but it doesn't have to become a reality for it to be good. The dream can be just as good. It's like a movie that you watch and you really enjoy the movie, right? And it's a beautiful movie, and you walk out of the movie and it wasn't real, but it was a beautiful movie. So your life can be
yeah,
in
that's
some ways that too, right? Maybe not go too far into the unreal, but I don't know if that makes sense.
it's, and I think I get caught like just back to the work, where they'll say, what are your goals? And I actually said once I didn't have any because I was about 21 and I was stuck on the spot. Like I didn't
Yes.
get the job, but there's a reason for that because
Mm.
I was destined to go where I was elsewhere. But I often remember that and I think, gosh,
Yeah. Yeah, it happens. It
it
happens so
happens.
much.
It's
Yeah.
and I'll just go back here. So Wolf has said, "Jack of all trades," as we say, a jack of all trades is a master of none, but often times better than a master. Beautifully said, Wolf.
Yes.
I like that. And Tracy, I wouldn't know how to label myself even when I was working. I was quite, yeah, yeah.
Mm.
And remember, Tracy, when we did our live and I sent you those questions, we even both, and then she said, oh, I'll have to think about that. It was like a job interview, wasn't it? And then I said, well, I don't know if I'd sent her questions and didn't know if I'd be able to answer them myself.
That's funny.
I'm being honest. But we
Yeah.
got through it, didn't we, Tracy?
It was a good talk. I watched that. It was really cool. Yeah.
And Rain says, I stopped working in 2003 due to burnout, as you know. And for a good 10 years, I struggled to find my identity.
Mm. Mm.
I understand that, Rain. And I can only imagine, what you would have gone through with work burnout and the stresses. Yeah, to find your identity outside of your career.
Yeah. I think we sometimes
Yeah.
find that, we identify with something so strongly that it becomes who we are. And when we're not that anymore, that we can't use that label or that identity anymore, then it's like, who are we then? Who are we? How do we define ourselves? And then the journey starts again, where we go searching of who we really are when we're not that thing. And we have so many labels that we use. I mean, we use victim, we use survivor,
yes.
we use, so many labels. And without wife, husband, partner, parent, so many labels. It's quite interesting for me how we label things.
It definitely, and we've got, I'll just see here, and Tracy said, I used to say I don't plan for that far ahead. I take each day as it comes. For that 5-year question. I just want to, yeah, that's true, Tracy. And then what's wrong? Oh my gosh, I remember saying in interviews, I'm a people pleaser. Yeah, that was a trap. Dream for, yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm.
So true. So people may not know. I might just first touch on your books, Laurika, if that's all right, because that really tells a lot of your story before I ask anything else. So, Laurika, have you written 4 books?
3 books, and then I was published in an anthology. That's the 4th one. Just part of a lot of writers that have pieces of their work in a book. So, but I've published 3 books. Yeah.
3 books. So, as you know, everyone will know, I bought, when I connected with Laurika and found her lovely channel, I realized she'd written a book. So I gifted myself this book.
Thank you.
And initially, why I did that first too, because you read a bit from it, and anyone who knows me knows I love birds. And you dedicated it. She's dedicated it, she says, for the crows. So I, immediately I thought, wow, that's beautiful. That sends me goosebumps. And then I ordered the book, and I knew a little bit about Laurika because she talks bits in her videos, and she did a little interview with beautiful Manuela from Place of Stillness. And I got to know a little bit of Laurika through that interview. So I just want to read you a little bit from Laurika's book. And that's called The Pen. Tracy says, I didn't know you love birds, Evie. I know, I have to stop saying that. Thank you, Tracy. And I just want to read you this bit. I use the pen to say how I feel. Indigo ink is my soul color. The words on the page are my truth. They reflect my soul in this moment. It is my soul that I open and share with the world. Do you cry when you read? I cry. I do. But to write anything less is cheating. How it is perceived is not so important. And you can read it or not. You can like it or not. You can judge it or not. I don't care what you think. And Laurika would have said that beautifully. Somewhere, someone will read a line here or there, and the words will touch their soul. I get emotional.
Oh, Evie.
And then it says, for a fleeting moment, we will know each other. Yeah. So
Oh.
for a fleeting moment, we will know each other. And I think that just sums up how I feel too when I write, a little bit. Not that we write so everyone writes differently,
Yeah.
but how words in books and words, our breath and our words and what we say can have such an effect on people.
Yes. Yeah. This is so true. It's like something you say in passing to somebody else can just touch them in such a way that it can be either so gentle and lift them, or it can completely crash them.
Yes.
It's such a powerful thing. They say that. I mean, it's such a cliche, but it's true. The word is more powerful than the sword. So it's true. I think words are so important. Yes.
So
And
it's,
our intention behind the words are,
that's it.
yeah. Mm.
So I'll just quickly go through the chat so I don't. Tash got a rainbow lorikeet yesterday. It was tacked by my
Oh
crow.
no!
Hotel Murray.
Oh, sweet.
Couldn't
Oh.
be in kinder hands or more loving hands, Tash. You're beautiful. Thank you for rescuing that, Tash and Murray. And Rain's got, I cry all the time. I'm so emotional. Yeah, Rain.
Yeah, Pisces.
Yeah. And yes, your writing is so beautiful, Laurika.
Thank you, Rain.
Tracy's got a love heart.
Oh.
Yes, refuse for all need. Oh, she's talking. So Laurika. So Laurika's journey. Wow, Laurika. So Laurika's written these. I've read these two: The Dreamer's Life, which Laurika gifted me, and The Four Windows. And I guess Laurika, I don't know where to start other than say that Laurika just packed up her whole life. Is that how do you describe? I can't describe that for Laurika. It's
Okay.
wow.
Well, it's I have always been a traveler, at heart. When I was 2 months old, my parents moved from one country to another country. I was born in South Africa, and then my parents moved to Namibia, and I was 2 months old. And so traveling has been in my blood all my life. And I've lived in many places: South Africa, Namibia, the US, the UK, and now I'm in Sweden. So I did that. But the whole thing started that I was quite settled in my life. I reached a certain age. I had a really good job. This was in the UK, in London. And I was married. On the surface, my life was really, really, really good. And I can't say that I really could. Somebody from another person if they had my life, would probably have thought, this is a beautiful life. But for me, it wasn't the life that, I wouldn't say I had it planned, but it just wasn't. It wasn't the life that I at that time wanted anymore. And it's hard. I don't know if I had some sort of a breakdown, or if it was just a certain age I reached, or something happened. But I left my marriage without I just walked out. I left an amazing career. I had a really good job. Amazing job, working for one of the biggest software companies in the world. I just quit my job. I gave up my apartment. I sold everything, or I gave away everything I had. And I had a small storage box at a, they call it Sure Guard. I don't know if you have that too. It's like a place where you store your belongings.
Storage, like, yep.
Storage locker. It was like 1 meter by 1 meter. That was all that I had left. And I had a suitcase. And I bought a ticket back to South Africa for 6 months and had some cash in my pocket. I rented a car and I started driving. And I traveled through South Africa for 6 months, me in my little car. I would wake up in the morning and just decide, okay, today I'm going left. No map, no nothing, no plan. Afternoon comes, I would stop in a small town and I would find a place to sleep for the night. If I like it, I might stay a week. If I don't, I move on the next day. And I think the reason for all of this for me was that I had this feeling inside me that I needed to be free. I did not want to have any connection with anybody or anything except for myself. And it's the most selfish thing to say that, because it's not something that you normally do. You have your life, you have responsibilities. But I had a moment of pure, I don't know what, but it just, that's what I needed to do. And I did it. And I wouldn't recommend that to everybody, because it's a little bit of a
You are so brave.
It's not just for me painful and traumatic, but for the people around me, my family, my friends. It's like but today I know that that was what I had to do. I was listening to the voice inside of me that said, this is what you need to do. And yeah, Rain, sometimes it happens. You just want to run, right? You just want to leave and you want to run. And I just ran. And so I started writing about that. I've always written, but I started I've always written about my experiences, but it became, it formed a book for some way. I didn't go out to write a book about my journey. The book came after my journey. I just tried to write myself out of this mess that I got myself into. And I found myself, I found my voice, and now I am where I am. And I feel this is where I have to be. This is where I'm supposed to be in my life. So yeah, I have like 2 lives, one life before and one life now. And that life before was a beautiful life, but it did not serve me anymore. So I needed to let that go and move on to this life. So that's how I can describe it.
But you write about it, so it's poetic and beautiful, but it's raw, and you're honest. You're very honest. Because there's one point in here, and I love your honesty, because where you question yourself, saying, were you a hypocrite?
Yeah. That's
About
exactly.
Leaving your husband, and that's what it was about, wasn't it?
Yeah. Because basically I was leaving because I wanted to find myself. I wanted my freedom, and then I fell in love with someone else. And it's like,
that's it. Yeah.
What is that all about? Yeah.
But I admired your honesty, because you brought that up as well. We do question these things, but you've put everything honestly on the page. And there's some Can I ask you, your teddy bear?
My teddy.
So you were not alone.
I should have brought him.
Oh, I should have remembered. So
if you give me half a minute,
if you bring your. So you weren't really alone, were you?
Hold on.
Oh, what's Rain said? Finding your voice is a beautiful lesson, one that I'm still, Beautifully said, Rain.
Everybody, this is Mr. Teddy. This is hard to show on you.
He's beautiful.
Yeah, he has a little bow tie. He's traveled the whole world with me.
Did you buy him to take, or you've had him? Someone gave him to you?
Yeah, I've had him for few years before I left my marriage. So yeah, I've had him he's been with me then since about 2012 maybe. So yeah, he's my buddy. Yeah.
I think he's beautiful. So he traveled, and we got Tash says, we can only do what we do with the knowledge, what we have at that time to make any decisions. There should be no judgments on ourselves for knowing. It's very true, Tash.
Yeah, that's so true.
That's so true. And not judging ourselves. And we'll probably come back to that a bit, Laurika, with our little essence of forgiveness, perhaps.
Yes.
We'll touch on that a little bit later. So we'll come back to that, Tash, not judging and what that, So thank you for bringing that up. And then we've got genuine and honest attracts genuine and honest. It's a wonderful thing, the law of attraction. So if I've missed any comments that you want to bring forward, lovelies, just type them again or let me know that I've missed something. So I'll just... Yes, so I've just got a few notes here, Laurika.
Yeah.
I'll go back to my little notes. And I'll just... I love how Laurika... in our journals, we write different things. We pick up on things we see. But your attention to detail is beautiful. Even I might have been in the Four Windows. You just observe the My Little Pony was on an awning.
Oh, yes. I was in San Francisco, stayed in a hotel.
Well,
and across the street, there was a little My Little Pony. Yes.
And I liked, you're sitting, must have been on a bus or, and the conductor, he'd get out
and was at the train. Mm-hmm.
Him coughing, and the air flight ticket lady who was, you brought up 50 Shades of Grey, like she was a real...
Yeah, she was a very dumb one. But don't you
and
think
then you tell yourself not to think that.
But that's often the case with people that sometimes can get a little bit bossy. I am very bossy myself, so I cannot say anything, but I can sometimes get a bit bossy too.
So I just wanted to tap on a few things that I've picked up in your book, just little things. Very honest. Things like the baboons you run into, you're going to the tattoo, getting your tattoo, and it's just, and when you're listening to people's conversation and they're talking about fruit and you saying you can't think of the bear and say raspberries, it's rough. When you're listening at a bus stop and people talking on the phone, I just think all those little things just make it really, really beautiful. But I do just have a few notes here. Sorry, everybody. Now you on your trip, you did come across a pink house.
Oh yes. Oh my goodness, that was like very.
Because traveling in South Africa, you have to be cautious in any country.
Yeah.
And you have to be cautious in Australia. Yeah. So you're very brave, and Yeah, find the strength.
I had a really interesting experience
Really,
at that pink house. It was
yes.
late afternoon,
Mm.
and I was driving a long way, and there was no towns nearby. It was this. In Afrikaans, we have a saying that's called it's on verdrietse vlakte. It's like it's on the end of the world. Like there is absolutely nothing there. It's just this little town. And I went to that town because
If
as I
something
was
is,
driving, yeah, I saw a sign that said
yes,
similar to the name of um, a farm I was writing about in my novel, which is called No Flowers on the Graves. And so I wanted to go and see this town because it had the same name as the farm I wrote. And I was just driving and I got there, and the only place I could stay at was this pink house. The old guy came and he showed me there's this place where you can stay. It's a bed and breakfast. And it was a horrifying experience. This
I
couple that
felt
stayed
it. Look,
there were from
I felt
yeah,
the creepy as soon as.
the Bates Motel. It was really I yeah, you have to
Because
read
you
it
had
because
to,
I don't even know where to start. Yeah.
because you had to actually block your door, didn't you? So
Yeah. Yeah,
it was
I
a
had me.
husband and wife,
Yeah. Yeah, it was
and
a
the
couple.
energy.
Mm.
Wow.
Yes, and it was you know, it was very strange. I have yes, Tash. If you 99% of the book you will read about the most beautiful people that I have come across. That was
Wow.
the only
Yes.
experience that I've had. I have to say, every single person, I people invited me to stay in their
Yes.
homes. They don't
At the
even know me.
Daisy Cottage.
The
That
Daisy
lady,
Cottage. The lady on a farm, she asked me if I wanted to stay on a farm while she went away
and she
for a
only just
week.
met you like
Yeah,
that
I don't
day,
know her
didn't she?
precisely. I never met her before. Same day I met her, she's like, "Do you want to stay on my farm, take care of my dogs?" And it's just because she felt we connected. It wasn't because she needed somebody to stay, right? And so many of those stories, so many of those stories that I have, that I shared in the book, of connections that I made with people on the journey through South Africa. So yeah, but Norman Bates, that was him. It was in the pink house. But the day after the pink house, I drove down and I came to this small little town, and I stopped at a shop that sold, like, it's another small town. And in this small town, the store only has like they have a little post office, and they sell like flour and tea, and it's those little town shops. It's not a And there was a lady behind the counter, and I asked her if she sold coffee and maybe a sandwich, and she was like, "No, we don't sell food." And I was like, okay. I thought to myself, I said, "Look, I had a really bad experience this town up the road, and I just had to get out of there. This morning I had no coffee, I had nothing to eat. I just waited for daylight, because you can't drive in the night in South Africa in the streets. It's in those roads." And this lady was like, "Did you stay at," I don't want to say the name, XYZ, because I don't want to be sued or something. "Did you stay at this
Yes.
place?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's the place I stayed at.
Hi,
Hi."
Agatha.
And
Welcome,
she was like,
darling.
and she
Sorry,
was like,
Rita.
"Okay, come to the back," because her house was attached to this shop. And she invited me to her house. She gave me a sandwich, she gave me coffee, she let me use a shower. Nothing. For
Well, that was
nothing. Like,
that was
so
in the book too, was it?
yes,
Yes.
it's just so many
Complete
beautiful.
opposites.
Yes, the opposites. Opposites, yeah. So, yeah, no, I have nothing bad to say about my journey through South Africa, because it was an amazing journey. Yeah.
And Laurika, again, I love your honesty again, and how you completely Hello, Agata. Lovely to see you. Agata's from Poland. And Rain is from Canada, Atlantic Canada, very cold part. Tash and Wolf are in the state of Queensland, which is probably about a 12-hour drive. We've got beautiful Tracy. She's in Western Australia. Who else have we got here? So we've got everyone from, and Nina, Nina, where do you live? Your friend Nina?
She's in Denmark.
In Denmark.
Yeah.
So I hope I haven't missed anyone's geographical location. And I'm in New South Wales. Tash has got Australia. So Laurika,
no problem, Tash. Thanks.
So going back to just particularly the beginning of your dreamer's life and your honesty about, who you are and where you were at too, and how you recognize your shadow and your trip. And I think I was saying to you earlier, before coming onto YouTube, I'd never really heard of shadow myself as a description, but I understand now what people are saying, and I love how you wanted to be with your shadow and make friends with how you were feeling about life and choosing life. Does that make sense to you,
Yes,
Laurika?
yes.
Where you questioned whether you really, wanted to be here in life too, correct?
Yeah. I think when I wrote about my shadow, I also haven't heard actually the definition of shadow work or shadow any of that. It was just a natural for me what I wrote, like what I felt there was always some sort of
dark. We'd probably call it darkness.
I wanted to say darkness. There's something in me,
a dark side. Just darkness. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And I called it my shadow because it felt like the right word to use rather than darkness. And but to me, it was also almost like when I wrote it at the time, I felt like it was some sort of energy that was with me. And later
Hi, Polly.
I realized that it's not something outside of me, this shadow or this darkness. It was just the other part of me. But when I first identified it, I identified it as something outside of myself. It's like something to get rid of, because this is a bad thing. But then I started investigating and, looking at through a lot of, yes, exactly, Tash, there can't be any yin without the yang. And I started investigating what is this thing that's attached itself to me, until I realized, but it is just me. It's just me. Exactly. It's just part of who I am. And then, and because, I'm sure you as well, Evie, and everybody here, a lot of us are people that work with light and we work with the higher energies, and we might have these amazing experiences of joy and connecting with something so beautiful that you get tears in your eyes. But that has another side. It can't only be that beautiful light. There is another side to that. But if you can learn to accept that there is another side, and you make friends with that other side, then when that other side raises its head, it's not so bad. It's not you can learn that, yes, this is a part of me, I accept that. and it doesn't last so long. Your shadow side then doesn't have so much power over you anymore, because you have learned to work with it. You've learned to accept what it is. And I think sometimes we need to have that shadow for us to survive, because we go through times when the light alone might not be enough to save us from whatever is happening. We need that other strength as well that comes from having a bit of a shadow side. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but
it does, Laurika.
Yeah.
Beautifully said. Yeah, it beautifully said. And to openly speak about that too, isn't it? You know, and Rain has, how can you love the light without having experienced darkness? Right. Shadow or the dark self should be accepted. Very, very true, Rain.
Yes, very true.
Very true. I'll just go back up. Rain also was talking about her Norman Bates experience. I ended up packing up, leaving one night. Next day at the post office, I was changing my address. Oh, Rain. That would have been
my goodness.
frightening.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Oh, I hope you got through that experience, Rain, and scary. Okay, so now, Laurika.
It feels like I'm talking very heavy stuff.
Yeah, I feel like I'm shouting.
What's that?
I feel like I'm shouting.
No.
Oh, yeah, Rain says, I still get shivers 15 years ago.
Wow, yeah.
That creepy, from the Norman Bates experiences. Yes.
Yeah.
Now, also, while I was finding out a little bit more about Laurika, we might touch a little bit, maybe, Laurika, on parallels, perhaps. And no two lives are the same. No two stories are the same. But Laurika, she talks in her other interview with Manuela. She touched on a little bit of something that I feel I've never spoken openly too much about my experience with my grandfather, who was murdered when I was 11. Because I guess my parents, tried to get you back into normal life, to keep life going on as normal. But I guess life was never really normal after that. But Laurika herself has experienced energy, criminal. Can I call it criminal energy? I don't know what to call it, Laurika.
Yeah, you can call it that. Easy. Yeah.
To me, it could be, it's evil. It's an evil energy that when you're a child, murder is evil, violence is evil. So perhaps on my channel, I only do snippets and mention that. That's probably where I kind of leave it, but gives people an idea of why I do connect with angelic, the light.
Yeah.
So much.
Yeah.
So how do you, you've been through quite a few violent what do I call that?
Experiences.
Yeah, experiences. Yeah.
I think it's living in South Africa was in some ways also very hard. Before I left South Africa in 2000, And unfortunately, I call myself a survivor, not a victim of crime. And luckily, if you can call it lucky, I've never had anything physically hurt, never been hurt physically. But I think emotionally and mentally it has really shook me. I was in an armed robbery where a man shoved a gun in my face, and I had to give them all my money and my jewelry and belongings. And I saw another man get killed. I was caught in a shootout between a policeman and well, I assume he was a criminal. I didn't know. I was in my car and they were shooting at each other. I was followed home in an attempted carjacking, and I had two guys trying to hold me up with knife kind of point here at my chest. I managed to just get away. But I've had all these experiences, and they all happened in a very short time frame. 4 years, 3, 4 years, back to back. And it really made me, I was a mess. Let's put it that way. I was not well, emotionally, mentally. And thank you, Rain. I worked really hard for many years, and I'm still working on it. But what happened at that time, thank you. Yeah, Tash, that is true, because this is my next point. You are right. It was hard to see anything good after that. I grew up very religious, and I always felt I always did the right thing, and I was a good person. And then all these things happened to me. So, just forget it. I'm not interested in anything spiritual or religious, or because there cannot be a good force if I am trying to be good and all these things happen to me. So for a long time, that's how I felt. And I was super angry, terrified of my shadow, or just like anything was. But I started working on these things. After years and years of medication from my psychiatrist and psychologist, I went that route. And then I started working with meditation and mindfulness and Reiki and all these things. It's not something that you can say, oh, okay, I started meditating and maybe a month or a year later, I was feeling better. No, it took me 10, 15 years to get past that. And I'm still today, there are some times when I get little flashbacks, but it is something that you have to, you need to make the decision that you want to work on this. And we all have different journeys and we all have different experiences. And for me, I will not want to change any of my experiences that happened to me during that time. Because if I did not have those experiences, I wouldn't be who I am today. I wouldn't be this person. And I was super angry, like I said. I talk about forgiveness was not an option. Like, you wouldn't come near me about being nice and forgiving and whatnot. It wasn't. But today, if I met any of those people that I was in these situations with, I literally have no fear and I have no anger towards them, because I can see why they did what they did. I can feel why they did what they did. And there is so many, there's just so many reasons why people do the things they do. And I'm not saying that, go about and just forgive everybody for doing anything. That's not what I'm saying. But my experiences really gave me the strength that I have today, that maybe that I could change my life when I did, that we talked about earlier. And I just packed up everything and I found this new life that now for me works. And in my books that I can write about these experiences, and maybe somebody else has a similar experience, not the same thing, but parallels like Evie talk about, and then they can maybe feel something or recognize something, and maybe that might help them on their healing journey. So I wouldn't change any of the things that happened in my past.
It's that's so powerful, Laurika. Just and how you've looked at the person who's committed the crime towards you to find, as you say, you don't want to go have coffee and scones with them. And it's hard. I found I was trying to find words because I spoke to Laurika. We're on email, and I said, can we just quickly go back through the comments and then I'll get back to...
Yes, for sure. Yeah, that's fine.
I wanted to ask Laurika about forgiveness, particularly because of our parallels, and I guess forgiving ourselves too. That's all part of forgiving, not judging, and forgiving others. And my approach has probably been a touch different to others, and I've never really spoken about it because in our time, Laurika, I know we're of the same vintage, and it was never imposed on me, or but everyone would say forgive and forget, as a cliche, and as a young girl, that made no sense to me. It was just like, forgive and forget. If you're in scripture class or Sunday school, and my parents drifted away from church for other tragic reasons that happened. So I was able to build my own path of what I believed and what I didn't. But people would say forgive and forget. But for me, and I think I spoke to you, I did a little video about compassion, and just said perhaps watch that. And for myself, forgiveness, and I did mention to Laurika, and possibly only, I think Tracy will know this because when we've spoken, when I was about, it'd have to be before I was 10, before my grandfather was murdered. In Laurika's book, if you don't mind me saying, Laurika, you spoke about her shadow being being called the Sandman. And I nearly froze when I read that, because it was before I was 10, it must have been 8 or 9 perhaps, and we were playing on the streets with our scooters and bikes, and there was a strange man, and he had wrong intentions, and he actually tried to distract everybody and then corner me off, and he grabbed me, and it was really abduction. And so when I read Laurika's word that her shadow was the Sandman, and if anyone knows, a lot of us are the same vintage, he was going to bundle me into a Sandman panel van. And it's only through my brother and the other friends we were with who were fast enough to catch him.
My goodness, Evie.
I often wonder would I still be here? And this was going on in the 70s, and people, so that's, although it hasn't I don't give a lot of thought to it, but I do often wonder, would I be here if...
Yeah.
And a couple of years later, it was my grandfather. But anyway, going back to forgiveness.
Evie, we have
Yeah.
some naughty stuff on there.
Oh, do we? Oh, great. I don't know what's happened to my son. He's supposed to be moderating.
Sorry to interrupt you.
So that's, why Laurika and I have sort of not the same, but similar parallels in how we have coped, or what would that define forgiveness?
Yes.
So I'll just block that user. Thank you, Tracy.
I think there's one more.
Is there? Oh. Block. Okay. Okay.
There we
go. So I might just go back through and just see what people have said about forgiveness, if that's all right.
Yes, that would be good. Yeah.
So we've got, the bruises and broken bones from emotional abuse is near impossible to see. So true, Tash. Bones heal. Emotional abuse messes a person up. Does, Rain. It's truly about choice once we can work through the trauma.
Yeah, I believe that. It's about the choice to decide how you want to live your life. Do you want to be defined by this or by that?
Yeah.
You can, but it's not something that just,
Just have.
It takes a bit of work, but yeah.
And Rain says, forgiving is about you, not letting the incident control you and finding compassion. It helps find.
Exactly. Yes.
So, and forgiveness, I had to look at as it's a gift we give to ourselves.
Yes, Evie. Yes, that's exactly what it is.
A gift we give to ourselves.
Yeah.
Just have a look. Thank you, Tass. We see you too, darling.
Yes.
Yes. And Rain, forgiveness is very powerful, not only for you, but sometimes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
True. And Rain and Laurika and everyone, what I say about that, particularly in those two parallels of my life, and I probably think more about grandfather's murder than I do being abducted that time.
Yeah.
But I, in that compassion video I did, I do say that forgiveness and compassion is very hard to give yourself and to give to others. So in relation to his murder, I gave that to a higher source, and I didn't feel it was my responsibility to be going through life thinking that it was my responsibility to forgive those people.
Yeah.
But I could give that responsibility on my behalf to somebody, a higher source.
Yes. That is an amazing way. That is an amazing way.
Myself for thinking I had to, because it wasn't easy. It's not easy to give away.
No, definitely not. I think that is such it's a different way of forgiving, right? It's giving it to
a higher source.
And I think that is why it's so, we all have our own way of dealing with it. And it's so good that we both are talking about this, because some people do it one way, and some people do it slightly in another way, but we end up in the same place by just doing it, taking the path that suits us best.
That gives us the peace that we can
Exactly.
live with.
Yes, exactly. I think that is, wow, Evie, maybe if I knew that, I would have been quicker around the uptake. It not take me that long.
Oh, you're beautiful.
Okay.
But then you've had all that experience of the traveling and being with yourself.
Yes. Yes, I got that.
And we do everything in our own way.
Yeah,
In
that's
our
what
own
makes it so
beautiful way.
Exactly.
Right.
Yes.
Tash, darling, say whatever you like, darling. We love you. No, keep commenting.
Yeah, please do.
And Rain has forgiving ourselves is also important.
Yeah.
We all have dark moments. If we dwell on them, we will never grow. We have to learn to forgive ourselves, yet change the behavior. Beautifully said, Rain. Yes.
Yes.
And then she's got, Rain, she's got
Wow.
something similar happened to you, Rain, I'm so sorry. Oh. And she's got naughty spammers. Thank you, Tracy. And blocked. I'm sorry. So the three of us have had a similar parallel.
Yeah. I
Because I
think
haven't really met anyone who's had these parallels with violence or crime. I've never. Have you, Laurika?
Sorry, what was the question, Evie?
You know how you've been a victim of crime, even though we're not calling ourselves victim, but I've never had in my circle of friends anyone who's experienced that.
Oh, okay. No, I've
Domestic
had quite a
abuse
few.
I have, like
I have
friends
quite a few friends that have had similar experiences because of the time and where we lived. So it was just, yeah. So I know, I have a lot of friends that have had those experiences. But I wanted to say something else about forgiveness that I think is something that also, if we struggle with that, is we generate gratitude, because in everything that I do, I practice gratitude, and that automatically over time it brings in less focus on things that might hurt you or from the past. Or so when I look at gratitude, I see it like I wake up in the morning, and while I'm still in bed, I list all the beautiful things in my life. The sunlight coming through the curtains, the the little kid laughing downstairs, just sometimes it's something as little as, oh, this bed feels so warm. Sometimes it's big things. I have a beautiful home that I live in, so I'm so grateful for that. It's like little things and big things. And in the evening before I go to bed, I think of a list of all the good things that happened to me that day. Like, I had such a great cup of coffee. I had this amazing conversation with Evie today. It's like those kind of things that make your life beautiful. And it doesn't, it removes the things that aren't so great maybe in your life. And like you don't have to focus on those things, because the more you build gratitude in your life, the more you become compassionate, not just for yourself but for other people, and the more you can forgive whatever you need to make you continue on your journey. It's all about walking that journey, right? So that's how I also work with that.
I know in one of your videos, the Reiki principles, because I wrote them down, and I like what you said, like release worry and say I'm safe. I love that. I'm safe.
Yeah.
Let go of anger and I am peace. I live my life honestly. I am kind to every living thing, including myself. I am grateful for my many, many blessings.
Yeah, I repeat that every day.
I wrote that in one of your older videos. My hair's falling out. And I thought that was lovely. And I thought, yeah, that's. And I love how Patti Smith is your inspiration.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Patti Smith.
I thought I have to bring up your Teddy and Patti.
Yes. Oh my goodness, Patti Smith. Yes.
And then I had to go Google, like I don't know the song off by heart, Because the Night.
Oh yes.
Because the night. Is that how much belongs to lovers?
Yeah, exactly. But the thing is, I don't listen to Patti Smith's music.
Oh, you don't
I
listen
don't think
to
I've ever
music?
listened to a single song. I read her writing because to me her books are just amazing. They are just this like, there's so much power in her books that I just adore her books. I love her books. So it's like I have absolutely no idea about her music. I don't even think I mean, I know that song, but I don't listen to her music. I don't, nothing of that. It's her writing and her words and her photography, because she takes these she has one of these old cameras that you look in from the top, like you hold, and she takes these old black and white photos that looks like they're from another time. It's just beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah, she's my
because your eyes light up when you talk, and it's lovely to have such an
really.
And I thought I better Google what she sings, and I put it on. I thought, oh, I like that song.
Yeah, it is a good song. Oh, yes.
Now we might. Sorry, I've missed the chat. Thank you, Tracy, for blocking. Or I don't know what my son's doing, but he's obviously gone back to sleep. So we've got Tash. All negative energies are now transmuted into love and light and spread throughout the universe to fall like stars upon the souls who need it.
Oh, that is so beautiful. We love that.
Thank you, Tash.
Yeah.
Tash sent me a beautiful text yesterday too. Lovely. That's very true, Tash. I love that. I'll be writing that in my diary, like I did with Laurika's Reiki. It's the law of the universe for the mind to see, and therefore it is created. She's got, you are the higher source. And we've got beautiful Polly. Hi again, Polly. Yes, Evie, it's a gift and a big burden off one's shoulders. Yeah. As in, forgiveness is a gift we gift ourselves.
Yes, exactly. Yes. That is.
And Rain has, I think a lot of us were brought up with the idea we have to forgive when we choose to do it. Yes, Rain. I felt it was an obligation. Yeah. But then when we choose to do it ourselves, yes. Very true. And Tracy's got, Tracy talks about domestic abuse, which I admire you for doing that, Tracy, and you really speak from the heart about that. And I know you've said, I can't say I can ever forgive my ex-husband, but she's at peace with that, and you're at peace with that. And I admire that.
That's what's important, that you are at peace with your choices and your decisions, because that is what makes you heal. That takes you on your journey where you need to go, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and to be brave to say that, Tracy, because again we come back to that saying when I was a kid, just in passing with everyone, oh, forgive and forget. And I couldn't make sense of that sometimes when you're young. It didn't make sense. I thought, gee, that sounds easy. But it's, so true, Tracy. More gentle ebb and flows than rougher and higher. Are you saying it's okay? Okay. I hear so many messages. And Agatha sending her love. Hello, Agatha. It's lovely to see you. And I was out at night after a night at a bar waiting for my bus. 3 a.m. 2 people offered me a ride. Later, I recognized them as Canada's. Oh, Rain.
Oh my goodness.
And
you had a guardian angel protecting you that night.
Yes, you did, Rain. I'm so glad you're here in the friendship circle today, all of us.
Yes.
through even though I know some aren't, telling their whole story here, but I'm sure, there's a reason why we're all here today. Our guardian angels have brought us here. So what else? Where were we at now, Laurika? Have we covered? Just what about a little bit more about the beautiful Laurika? Now, you've been embroidering, but you've embroidered tarot bags.
Yes, I don't actually have any here right now. It's like my life. I have
I'd love to see them.
Yeah.
Does anyone else do embroidery? Oh, Laurika, that's beautiful.
So I just like to.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
Oh my goodness, this I'm very confused with this camera.
And it's beautiful, and I love that.
Yeah, so it's just I haven't closed this one yet. So so I just enjoy making these because I like to use my hands for things. And
I love the hand and the simple sketch, like the simple.
Yeah, like cross his fingers that we're going to get the cards we want, right?
Does anyone else like I brought mine. I wanted to bring mine because I told you I embroidered the cushion.
Oh yes.
And I got myself. So Laurika and I were talking about embroidery. Now look, I did. Now I would have done that when I was about 12 or 13.
Oh my goodness, that is so pretty.
And of course I've got bird.
Yeah, of course.
I handmade this as well. That's hand stitched.
Wow. Amazing. That is so pretty. Wow.
And I've got this. I got this from Kmart for $5.
Oh.
Is that a Galara or Major Mitchell cockatoo? What's that? Tash will know. I think that's a Major Mitchell. Or maybe a cockatoo. No. It's either a Galara or Major Mitchell. I get them mixed up. They look the same.
Wow.
And I think I've missed some comments.
we lots of people that are creative.
Mm-hmm. So as long as you're at peace, you don't need to forgive your ex. Yeah, good for you. Yeah, good for you, Tracy. Yes, I love your honesty too. Always love Tracy's honesty. When you realize the world is so much more beautiful than you realize, we get stuck in the details. Yeah. Yes, Tash.
So true. Yes.
And Agata, so beautiful. Agata likes birds too. She's got, nice gameplay. Not sure what that's about. So we've got, whenever a negative thought, I stop myself. Beautiful, Rain. Yes.
There's another trick as well that I've taken a few classes from Pema Chodron. She's a American Buddhist nun, and she teaches, and I know it comes from some other psychology people as well, that if you can, I think it's something like 90 seconds. So if you have something that's in your head and you can't stop and you're trying to get rid of that thought, you're not going to get rid of, it's hard to get rid of that thought by just saying, I don't want to think about it. But if you replace it with something else, like Rain says here, and she replaces it with 5 positive ones, or even 1 positive one, but you just change that thought into something else, like you start thinking of something else, 90 seconds later, that thing doesn't disturb you anymore. It's past. It's out of your head. You should try it. I didn't think it would work because
And
I
it
can get so
worked.
obsessed in my head. And then I tried it once.
That
And I was
little
like,
voice
okay, I'm going to try it. Yeah. And I just thought of something else. Like I started thinking of something else, like me and my daydreams. And then I set a clock, and I ended up stopped thinking about the clock. I just carried on, and then I heard the beep, 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 beep. I'm like, oh, I forgot. I haven't thought of that. So it actually works. I tried it. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm going to give it a
So,
try.
Rain, that's a good thing. Yeah.
I'm going to give that a try, Laurika.
Yeah.
And we've got Laurika, a fellow artist, yet Rain loves her art.
Yes. I see
we're all
that.
artists. Yes. Rainbow bird. Yes, you picked up on that, Agatha. Tash, you do embroidery too. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Welcome, Alicia. It's so lovely to see you. I'm sorry if I've missed you coming into the chat. So lovely to have you here. Thank you for coming. Appreciate it. And thank you, Tash. It's a galah. They are from Kmart. It was only $5 from Kmart. And Polly's I love that bag, Laurika, and Evie, your work is beautiful. Yes. I haven't done embroidery really since. Only that teddy one I got from the Salvos not too long ago, but I haven't finished that. Some kisses. And we've got Rain. Laurika, about changing thoughts, I've heard about the 90-second. That's what you were just talking about.
Yeah. It works.
So, yeah, you're both thinking the same thing.
Yeah, it's wonderful. Yeah.
Wow, that's beautiful. So there we go. Now, does anyone have any questions at all for Laurika or for myself or anything? Any questions about Laurika's Reiki or healing work or energy work or anything? And also, Laurika,
I shocked you all into silence. It's like, what is this woman talking about?
Everyone's gone quiet. And Laurika, another parallel too, we've both done a little bit of volunteering work, haven't we?
Yeah.
Over our year. And I think that's part, did you find that's part of my healing and trying to give back to others, particularly with I did with victims of crime and people coming here through Mission Australia and teaching English and teaching a lady from Iraq who'd been through horrific crime with Saddam Hussein. Expelled from her country and her family. So did you find that healing? You worked in the prisons, didn't you?
Yeah. I did. I'd done quite a bit. I worked at like Humane Society with cats and dogs that have been that didn't have a home. I cleaned cages as a volunteer and helped feed them, walk the dogs, did Reiki for the animals. So it was really quite nice. I did that in Chicago, and then in London, I did some. I worked on the suicide helpline. It's called the Samaritans, and it's people that are suicidal that would call the helpline when it's when they want to end their lives. And then you just, as a listener, on the phone with them, and just be there, hold space for them. And I also worked
It's like
at
Lifeline here, I think, is it? Yeah,
something like that. Yes, it's
they
like
just
the
want
Lifeline.
people
Yeah,
to.
yeah, yes.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it was really hard, but it was also very rewarding, because when you can be there for somebody who's at
At their
feel like it's at the end, they can't go on, and then you can be there for them. It's really quite for them, I guess, but also for me, felt a good thing to be there
yes,
for somebody. And then I also worked at one of London's biggest prisons as a volunteer. Also with the Samaritans, they had a service that's you go into the prison and you listen to the prisoners that have same thing, have challenges and whatnot. So that to me was really interesting, because it opened my and I think that helped me with forgiveness a lot, working with being I don't want to say working with prisoners, because it sounds so I just was just there. I wasn't like, it was just there listening to people. And it helped me with forgiveness, because it helped me to see other people that might commit a crime, that did commit a crime, did things. They are just people, and they did
yeah,
horrible things, some of them, and they are paying for those things in prison. They're in prison, they're paying for their crimes. And for me, it is just like, hi. For me, it was just like
Andy.
having been on the other side of, having been a survivor of crime, and then go into a prison and work with people that are the committers of the crime. It really opened up my soul to see that we're all the same. We just do things. we do the wrong thing. We make wrong decisions. I don't know how to describe it, but I think for me that was a big push into getting through the things that I experienced. It really helped me. So
Yeah, I admire that, Laurika, too. Yeah, too. Probably for myself, I don't know if that's why probably with my volunteering, because of grandfather, that I volunteered because of COVID. It's not
can't
working
do
at the
that now.
moment.
Yeah, yeah.
And I couldn't work on Fridays with my other job. I just said, I'm not working on a Friday. That's my volunteer day. But I worked for the courthouse. So what happened to me was, when I tell a story in about 2018, I researched a bit more of his murder, and I found the gentleman who found him that day, and he's still alive 40 years later.
Wow.
And we met up. He's come to visit me twice. And I realized then that he was impacted himself. He's about 73 now. And finding grandfather that day, he was a suspect straight away.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he did talk to me about from his point of view. And that's how I got working with the witnesses and victims of crime court support, because we tend to forget about those witnesses and the victims. Yeah,
it's true. It's very true. I did try to get into that as well.
Oh,
working
wow.
with victims, but I wasn't approved for some reason. Maybe there was something not right about me, but I
I
couldn't
don't
get
think it
into
was
that
that.
service. They
Yeah.
didn't accept me. I don't know why. I don't know why, but you you
Well, they
can't.
missed out. They missed
Yeah,
out.
they probably. Yeah, I think so too. No.
But it wasn't meant to be because
No,
you know,
this is
you
why,
found
yeah, I don't, things happen. You can't always get what you want, and what you think is the right thing is not always the right thing. So I completely trust in the universe that things happen as they should. So I wasn't
and
too
they
upset. Just, yeah.
oh, I'm just going to go back over the comments because I don't want to think anyone thinks I've what's here. Oh, I think Polly says, I love that bag. I think we did that bit. Thank you, Polly. Yeah, we did that. And Rain says, I always tell Martha that I need to wear a tinfoil hat on my head because she reads my thoughts. And Martha's from Mystical Empowerment, our friend. I like that, Rain. I think I need to put on my tinfoil hat with you too. I love that, Rain.
Oh.
And Agata says, I don't have anything currently, but you're both inspiring me. Thank you. Agata is a beautiful artist. She doesn't have a channel. She's in Poland. And I'm not on Instagram, but she has sent me the links to her beautiful drawings.
Oh, wow.
It's got to draw that bee, Agata. I want to see that bee and that flower. When you're ready, of course. What does Laurika feel she would like to share more with us? Okay, well, thank you, Tash. And Tracy's thinking of questions. Rain's got, how did you learn Reiki, Laurika?
I can answer that in a little bit if you want to go through
Okay, yeah, so we'll answer that bit, thank you. I love that you work with dogs. Yeah, doing Reiki. Rain is an animal lover, so we all are. I know Tracy and Tash and Agata. I'm sure we all are here. Polly and Candy and everybody, and Alicia. Alicia's on a farm.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she's a little farm. I hope I haven't missed anybody. Laurika, I've contacted the Samaritans. Oh, you're a wonderful soul. You've got, and yeah, we said, hi, Candy. We're not ignoring you, Candy. Hello, darling.
Hi, Candy.
Welcome. Working with prisoners, something I thought about doing. Takes courage knowing what you've been through. Yeah, it does, Laurika. You're really, in your power, your courage and your strength. It's shining through. Oh, and Tash has gone for a cough. Yeah. So perhaps, we'll go back to how did you learn Reiki, Laurika?
Yes, that is so fascinating. I was like, it was in 1999, and I was living in Cape Town in South Africa. And I was, like you've heard me talk, I was not in the best space. And so I was walking past a cafe, like a coffee shop, and they had a notice board. And on this notice board, it said, do you want to relax? Reiki treatments. And then there was these little tags that you pulled off with a name and a number. And I was like, yeah, hell, I need to relax. I was like, so I knew nothing about Reiki, never heard of it. And so I took the number, went home, and I found this woman, and I said,
just give it a try.
Yeah, exactly. I would do anything at that point. So I phoned this lady, and I said, hi, I need to relax, I got your message. And she was like, okay, she does Reiki and it's energy healing. And I'm like, I have no idea what she's talking about because I don't know anything about that stuff. I was like, yeah, well, okay. She says it's like a massage, but it's not a massage because you keep your clothes on and you just relax. You lie on the bed. So I thought, okay, fine, I can do this. So I went to her house. She actually treated from the treatments at her house. And I went in and we talked, and she said, okay, all you got to do is lie on your back and close your eyes. And I start, and I'm like, hell no, I'm closing my eyes in a strange room because I couldn't even sleep at night. I had all these
and
panic
we've only just met.
Yeah, and I can't close my eyes because I had this terror, like I was still in that crazy space. And I was like saying to her, I'm sorry, but I can't close my eyes. I mean, look at me. I was shaking even. I was like, and she's like, okay. She says, keep your eyes open. It's okay. We'll just do it with your eyes open. So fine. So she started at my head. By the time she got to my heart center, I was asleep, like literally asleep. And I woke up at the end of the treatment. And for me to do that, I couldn't even sleep in my own bed, let alone in a stranger's space. So I thought, well, there's something here about this thing. And I went back again and again, and then I moved to Chicago. So then obviously it's a bit far to fly from Chicago to Cape Town for a Reiki treatment. So I got, I found a newspaper clipping where this woman advertised to say, this was in 2002, I think, that she is a Reiki teacher. She's coming to Chicago to teach Reiki. And I thought, well, then I can just do it myself. I don't have to find anybody to give it to me if I can learn how to do this. So I went for a course in 2002, Reiki 1 and 2, and it turned out to be quite a well-known Reiki master teacher. Her name is Laurel Gaia. She passed away earlier this year. It was, she was my first Reiki teacher. Amazing, amazing lady.
A mentor,
based
like
in
a mentor.
Sedona. Yeah, in Arizona, I think Sedona. And I taught, we had quite an interesting experience because I was sitting, it was in a hotel, and the class was being given, and I was sitting at a couch, and it was like, 2002. It was like you didn't really have internet or much.
No.
Like there was, but not like today. And so I didn't even know how she looked. I had no idea how she looked. I don't have seen a photo or anything. But I sit in the lobby in this hotel, and the lift opens, people come and go, and lift goes up, lift comes down, and this woman walks out. And I look at her, and she looks at me, and we like recognize each other, but we've never seen each other.
You never met.
Yeah, but I felt like I know you, and she would look like me, and she's like, "Do I know you?" And I'm like, "I think I know you, but I don't know who you are." It was like an instant recognition. So I learned Reiki level 1 and 2 from her. And then I started treating myself, and I started treating some friends and family in Chicago. And I moved to London, and in 2004 I got my level 3, and then in 2005 I became qualified as a teacher. So that's my Reiki story. I literally started it because I just selfishly wanted to treat myself, because I don't want to pay people to Reiki on, to do it. And
it's like it found you.
But this is how they
say. The universe always finds us.
Yes. It's one of the things about Reiki is they say that Reiki finds you. You don't find Reiki. Reiki finds you. So you recognize that. Yes. It's like it finds you when the time is right. So, and one thing about Reiki is those principles that you talked about earlier, those 5 things. And initially, I didn't pay much attention to them. They were part of it, and I knew they were there. But when I started repeating and thinking and meditating on them, I realized how simple they were, but how amazing they can change. Yes, exactly.
Because that's why I wrote them down, so they're going in my diary. That's why. But I thought I must bring that up with Laurika. I think that's beautiful. Yeah, and I always say the universe will always find you. I always say the angels will find you, but I'm talking universe now, and it will always catch you.
Yes.
That's what I like to believe. It'll all, I think that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Tasha's, I don't know what Reiki is. So it's that. Okay. Can you explain what it is, Laurika?
Yes. Yes. So Reiki is a Japanese relaxation technique that promotes healing. That's the most basic. So it is a form of energy healing. It comes from Japan, and it was originated in like the late 1800s, very late 1800s, by a man called Mikao Usui. And it works, like I say, it's a form of energy healing, and it works through the palms of the practitioner's hands. So what you do is there's certain points where you place the hands of on the person. The person stays fully closed for treatment, and it literally feels like you just relaxed. It has this amazing relaxing feeling most of the time. Sometimes you can get a severe emotional response, and I've had clients cry, really cry, during a treatment as a release of something. I've had clients burst out laughing. Like the first time that happened, I was very like, what's he doing? It's just like, because it
You just
just
want
gave
to
them joy. Like
release.
it's such a release, yes. It also helps healing the body on the physical way. A lot of people use Reiki for physical healing. So if you have a headache, for example, you can, just we do that ourselves without being Reiki practitioners. If your head is sore, you put your hand on your head, right? If you have a sore leg, you put your hand on your leg. And basically, that is what Reiki is. But it's a little different from general energy healing because, yes, Rain, Reiki can be offered at a distance because we work with energy, right? And energy isn't locked in a space or a time. So, therefore, energy works. So, when you do Reiki, when you give Reiki, you can give Reiki to the person or to an animal. Like I said, I gave Reiki to animals at the animal shelter. Or you can give Reiki to an event, like you can heal a past event by sending the energy. And it basically is like, to me, you don't have to be a Reiki practitioner to be able to do this, right? You can send your love and your intentions to somebody else. And that works like that. It's similar to that. It might not be Reiki specifically, but it's the similar energy because we are all connected to the same
Or
source.
when we pray to the
Yeah,
universe, whoever we believe in, or we light a candle, someone needs
that's it.
going through it. We all. Well, I know Rain does that, and I know Tash. Yes,
Yeah,
I've
yes,
done help Tracy, and I know Tracy. We all do it. I think that here we light our candle, not
yes.
just for ourselves, but for the world, for people we're sending. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. And the energy, the long distance, how did I learn it? Okay, so so how you learn Reiki is you go to a class, a course, and it covers. I teach it now, so you start. Well, I start with the history. I talk a little bit about where it comes from and how it came to the West, from Japan and all that kind of stuff. And then how energy works. We talk a bit about how energy works and energy healing, what it is. And then what makes Reiki a little bit different from maybe some of the other modalities is you can't just learn it in a book, or you have to have a practitioner, the teacher, give you what we call an attunement. So an attunement is when the practitioner helps to open up, and then you can send Reiki as a person. So it's not it's not a specific religion. There's even Catholic nuns that are Reiki practitioners. It's not from
Wow.
a specific, there's all walks of life, a Wicca community that have Reiki practitioners. It's not like Reiki isn't a specific religion. It's just working with energy.
Yeah.
But you need to be able to show as a teacher that you have a direct link back to Mikao Usui, the man that originated. So he started Reiki, and then he taught people Reiki, and he helped to open their energy flow up for them with Reiki energy. And then they taught people, and then they helped people open up. So
Bye,
it's this.
Polly.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, Polly. Sorry, Laurika. Yes.
And then it works down from from one to the next to the next. So every single Reiki practitioner has a direct link to the man that started Reiki. Does that make sense? Am I explaining it right? I'm a bit, it's like 20 to 1 in the morning here for me. So,
Yeah,
so if I stop making sense,
that makes
I'm a bit
sense.
like,
That it's like not like back to source. Is he the source, the creator, or energy, the energy field?
But he's not like a god or anything like that. He's just a person that he received it. And I sometimes think the longer I do Reiki, the more I think that maybe we don't need to have that attunement to be a Reiki professional, because
Yes.
why do we need somebody else's permission in order to be called a healer or a Reiki healer necessarily? So if he could have been opened and got the energy, why can't somebody else? So there is a lot of that talking about that. But I think with learning Reiki, it's good to have somebody that's a qualified teacher that can help you show the different hand positions and help you explain. And if you feel something, explain what that means. Or if you don't feel anything, how to deal with that. If you think you're sending, but you're not feeling any energy coming out of your hands or through your heart or whatever, how you can deal with that. So that's why I think it's good to have a course so that you can learn. I hope that makes sense.
Hope is anyone. I'll just go through quickly. It's got Rain says a friend of mine does Reiki with horses. I love your Reiki story. There's something I want to learn as well. I saw a spiritual healer in 2003. She did body talk, a form of tapping for healing.
Okay, interesting.
That's lovely. The tapping. I have seen someone on YouTube. A couple of people do the tapping. Ever since I experienced body talk, I've wanted to learn Reiki. Wow, Rain.
It's like an opening for you.
Beautiful. It's got some people offer Reiki long distance. What do you think? Body talk tapping reduced me to tears a lot of the time. Because you do long distance Reiki and healing, don't you, Laurika?
Yeah, it works amazing. Just the same. It works the same as if you touched a person in the same room. You can send Reiki to the past, to an event in your past. And that's what I started to do as well a lot, is I send Reiki to the events that happened, and that helps heal it for me. It's like,
I think that's beautiful, Laurika, sending Reiki to the past.
Yeah, definitely. It's amazing to do that. And you don't have to send Reiki. You can just send energy to, beautiful energy to that, like a healing energy to whatever is hurting you or, something in the past that happened.
That's beautiful. We've got Tash. Yeah, I can send energy to other people. Yes, around the world. Feel the
Yes,
and Tash.
That's amazing.
Tash likes working with water spirits. I know.
Wow.
Do you still have your mermaid journal, Tash? I know you were telling me about your mermaid journal. But she did a lovely video about on the 5th, anywhere in the world at 9 p.m, sending love to Gaia and her children. She felt and the water spirits working with her, so she put that out. So I've put that in my diary, Tash, if anyone wants to send love and healing to Gaia or the world and the children at 9 p.m, whatever time it is in your country. Thank you for that, Tash. And she's got, I have saved a man's leg, wow, and palliative animals.
Wow. Amazing.
Well, that's beautiful, Tash, working with the energy. I understand about energy. I recently did a healing charm. Yes. Rain did that on her channel. Yep, sending.
Amazing.
And as Tash says too, saving a man's leg and palliative. Yep, that's beautiful. Yeah. That's awesome. Of course, you and I am you. And Tracy's got, yes, people ask me all the time how I can read the tarot via email. And
Yes.
Tracy connects to the energy.
Precisely. Exactly. Yeah.
Beautifully said, as we all, and I guess that sometimes too, if you know a friend's going through so much and then they ring you and they say, oh, Evie, I just felt I had to give you a call, and you know, I might have just lit a candle for them just then. Do you know what I mean? And I said, oh, well, I've been thinking of you. And she said, I just had, you know, I've got this energy. You know, a friend gives you a call. Said, you know, and
Polly, it's amazing.
Polly said bye. We said bye to Polly. So I'm just seeing, and Tasha's got, I don't ask permission most of the time. The person never knows.
You know how I deal with that, Tash? I don't know if I can say, I with the permission thing, because I know some people have one way of looking at asking, always have to ask permission. Other people are like, no, you don't need to ask permission. And I think that sometimes when you the way I deal with it myself, that's just my way, is I always say in an intention before I send Reiki to anybody, I say, may this be for this person's highest good. May the healing go for the person's highest good. And if they want it, if they don't want it, let it go to those who want it. I kind of like give myself I send it. And if their highest self,
I love that,
recognizes that they want the healing, they will accept it. But if they don't want it, because some people don't want to be helped,
yes,
then it goes, I usually say go into the earth, and then it goes automatically to Gaia, and then they get it anyway, just in another way, right? But that's how I kind of get around the permission thing.
That's beautiful. But I love how you said, Laurika, has anyone in the room had Reiki? I've had it once, and it was when my mother was dying. I looked after her till she died. I didn't put her in palliative care. And I worked for a number of years for a chiropractor. It was in the same, and I still help them out now. That's the job that I've just left. So they had all that Reiki, massage, naturopath, chiro. And I've been going to them probably for 16 or 17 years now, and I won a free Reiki treatment through one of.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah, and they knew everyone in the. This is before I worked for them. I got the job because I used to be a patient. Well, I'm still a patient, and they gave me a job. But yeah, the only thing is probably because Mum was palliative. I couldn't rest with it.
Yeah.
Maybe because it was where maybe I should have done it after she'd passed.
Mm-hmm.
So it's something.
Yeah.
Has anyone else tried Reiki here? So I'm just going to go back up and make sure. And Tash is just confirming, yes, and the Mermaid Journal. That's beautiful, Tash. And yes, I love that idea of sending healing to the past. I like that.
Yes, Rain. It's you steal away.
And that's the water spirits, that 5th of December, 9 p.m. wherever you are in the world, light a can. I think,
Yes.
oh, here we go. Yeah. Evie lit a candle for one of my late pets Oh, yes, I did. Yes. For Leo.
Oh.
Yes. And Tash, from lighting candles. Yeah. And yes, I did. Yeah, that. Just something little for you, Rain. That's hard. Pets are so much a part of our life, aren't they? Our loved ones. Absolutely, yes. Into the earth, I love that. That's wonderful. Yeah, I like that too. I had long distance Reiki done, but it didn't help me. But I was quite a skeptic at the time. Okay.
May I say about that? And the same as you, Evie. Sometimes you don't feel anything with a Reiki treatment. You don't always have to feel something for it to be working, because with energy works so subtly on our, we call our whole energy system our subtle energy system. And sometimes we want to feel something, when
Yes,
I had that experience of falling asleep. But a lot of times when I do receive Reiki from myself or from other people, I don't feel anything, but I know it works on a very subtle energetic level for me. So it works, but we don't always
think it does.
Feel it, yeah. And we don't see the healing, because the healing works like sometimes so subtle in like a bent in the past that happened. It's healing that without us knowing, because if you think about our subconscious, how powerful that is and what it does that we don't even know about, the thoughts, the background stuff that's going on in our head that we don't know about, the subconscious. So when it comes to healing and working with energy, we don't always feel it, but it still works on some
level.
Yeah.
Well, that probably puts it all together. For when I had the Reiki, her name was the same name as mine.
Yeah.
And how years later, they offered me a job there as well.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And because I always went there anyway, and perhaps that might have been why people would say to me, Evie, I don't know how you looked after your mother till she passed. She was immobile. She had brain cancer. She couldn't walk or talk. I left my job, everything. And I just did. I had the strength. Like I say to Pete, you look back and think, what have I done? And, how have I helped people? And he said, well, look back. He called it Jules. What you did, for Jules, you were so strong. And perhaps that Reiki treatment, without me knowing, gave me that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
because I came out of it thinking it was lovely, but I probably wanted this overwhelming thunderbolt experience.
We always want that. We look for that, don't we?
So thank you for answering that, because that's given me a new light on perhaps where I got my strength from.
Yeah. Yes.
So what have we got? Time folding over itself, so you can go back and heal her right after she passed. Tracy's got, there is a crystal shop I follow on both social media sites, and she offers long distance Reiki. So I did that's beautiful, Tracy.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's amazing.
And Tracy loves crystals. That's amazing. And look where Tracy is if we know her story and where she's at now. You know, she's cancer-free. Amazing.
Yes. Wow. Mm.
I didn't believe it worked on any level at the time, so I think my attitude blocked. I could have, Now my heart and soul open, I believe. I feel beautiful.
Beautiful, Rain.
This is like the best live stream. The energy from Evie and Laurika, the energy in the chat. Oh, that's beautiful, Tash.
Oh, yes.
Oh. So, well, thank you for sharing, everybody, and everything.
Yes, thank you, everyone. This was amazing.
Does anyone have any other questions? Or are we happy? Are you still happy to do like a one-card reading for anyone if they want it, Laurika?
Yeah,
you don't. You don't. I can continue on and do.
No. I'm happy to do a one card.
It's late over there. Are you okay?
I'm happy to do. I'm happy to continue.
Okay, if not, I'm saying like I can still do it. If you want to go and rest, I can still just do a one card. But if you're happy,
it's fine.
Oh, thank you. Because it's probably after 1 o'clock over there now at night. 1 a.m.
It's 1, but that's not a problem. I am happy to do a reading. I'm just going to stand up a bit, so I am awake.
Oh, and we'll just go here. So I was open to everything and I welcomed it. That's what I made my videos, and that's what happened. Yes, because Tracy openly spoke about, her journey, which is beautiful. So would anyone like a one-card reading? That's beautiful, Tracy. Anyone want a one-card reading at all? I know Laurika and I want to do a card for each other. Does anyone have a question or just message from spirit or just an energy of the day or night? And Rain's got, I'd love some insight about next week, Laurika. Then you need to get your PJs on and get to bed. Yeah. Tracy says, yeah. So, okay. Rain, you want some insight about next week.
Next week, Rain. Mm-hmm.
Okay. We'll do some insight for the people. We'll bring in the lovely energy.
Beautiful.
And we got it's 1 o'clock in Poland too.
Yes.
Burbs in Poland. Agata's in Poland. Thank you for staying up, Agata.
Yes. We're the same time zone. Okay.
So Rain, she wants some insight.
I have a card for Rain if it's okay.
Yeah.
So this card says, new birth guarded vigilantly. So to me, what this means is, Rain, maybe there's something that you're starting, or there's something that a beginning of something, maybe a project or something in your heart. I don't know, something is growing, and you need to make sure that whatever that is, keep it safe, be gentle with it, give it some water, give it some love. Maybe if it's an idea, don't share it too quickly. Don't go too quickly out into the world with it. Keep it safe, like a little baby that you want to protect and help grow before it becomes something, something big and successful. So it's a new birth, right? So just keep it close.
A new birth sounds beautiful. So what I have for you, beautiful Rain, and of course there's angelic energy around you. And I have the Three of Abundance.
Oh, wow. Yes.
And the beautiful angel playing music. So I don't know. I think there may be some music around you, or a song or a memory. There's something. But I think it's a beautiful harp music is very beautiful. It's very spiritual, isn't it? And I think it sort of taps in a little bit to what Laurika has brought forward. Are you thinking about doing something new? You're very passionate about wanting to do something. And I love how Laurika said keeping it gentle and close to yourself. I like that. And it's a card of like doing what you love. This time in your life now is about you. And having confidence, because you're very, you're very creative too. It's telling me about, it says allowing your creativity to soar and giving yourself, there's the gentleness you brought up, Laurika, but the heart is very spiritual and very gentle.
Yes.
And to know, your guides are watching over you. You're very creative, and there is a beautiful, subtle abundance. Not money, but in filling your heart up with what you love doing.
And
And making your own life a work of art. Because some people say, "Oh, I'm not an art. I can't paint or I can't draw." Well, I know Rain can, but making our life a work of art can be anything, can't it? Can be being kind to others, or being adventurous, whatever that is. But it's a beautiful. I think there's a beautiful energy around you, Rain. Oh. You are both are very much starting something new, all about me. But the struggle is maybe leaving someone behind in the process. Wow.
Yeah. And leaving somebody behind is always hard.
I did mention the memory too. Like, and probably the memory might be keeping you hanging on a bit, the memory of that past or that past person. But I hope you find something, maybe around some gentle music this week, Rain. Some angelic music. So I hope that helps you, Rain, in your week. So we'll go back. Yeah. Tracy would like a spirit message.
Tracy
would love a spirit message. You're welcome, Rain. So spirit message for the beautiful Tracy over in Two Rocks, Australia. What message do you have? Okay. You got a card yet, Laurika?
Yes, I do.
What have you got?
It feels like again, this is like a lot of new things, right? This is come to life. Says come to life, and this lady is drawing her own life. She's creating her own life, and I don't know. It feels very similar to Rain. Maybe we're all on a similar journey at the moment, but it feels, Tracy, that there's something that that is coming to life. I don't know if it is that something you want to create or to start, or to something you want to do, or if it's something that that is nagging you, but you're trying to ignore it and you don't want it to happen, if it's one of those two things. But this card is saying that you have all the help. You have the crow there on the one side that's whispering and watching over, like her drawing herself to life. And you have the little monkey there holding the pot with the coloring, the ink. And you have the little butterfly on the side, and you have the snake, which is shedding skin, new life. So you have everything you need to start whatever it is that you want to start. So that's what I have.
Okay, well, I actually got, for Tracy, I got the grieving card.
Oh, wow.
But I feel perhaps, or we all know that actually Tracy would have gone through that with her journey, your cancer journey, Tracy, but you've come to the light, and this beautiful blue butterfly.
Butterfly here as well.
And we all, and you would, yeah, and we all say that's transformation, don't we?
Yes, exactly.
And you definitely, yeah, really, I see two, there's two ladies, there's two figures here. There's two figures in here, Tracy.
Yeah.
So there's, I've like feminine, there's feminine energy around Tracy. And how do you feel about that, Tracy? The grieving and letting go. And I guess on your journey where you've been able to stop and actually notice things like, we notice the butterflies that land on our shoulder or that land on the flowers, and it's given us a time to think about our lives. But there's a beautiful purple energy around you, Tracy. And purple is that's your third eye too, isn't it? So I don't know if you have a connection to butterflies, Tracy. Just see if that helps you at all. And you've traveled through the grieving too, haven't you?
Yeah.
And come out this beautiful emergence. That's what it is, isn't it? Just a.
Yes, it's come to life. It's like this. The message of this card is come to life.
Oh my goodness! I'm just sorry.
Yes.
There's two. Oh my gosh!
Yes, exactly.
There's the past and the future.
Yeah.
I have got goosebumps now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to believe it's all over again. Beautiful. Yeah. But did you see that, Tracy? Grieving and then come to life. The two together. The story.
It's the story. Yes, exactly.
And the butterfly. Beautiful.
Amazing.
Yeah. And she's got, would have said, well, I'm no artist, but lately I've wanted to start painting. Yeah, it's hard to believe it's all over. Beautiful. Seem to say, I can't now seem to sit still now.
Yeah.
That's lovely.
You should start painting, Tracy. Just pick it up, whatever you feel. You don't have to be an artist to be paint.
No.
It's start. Just pick up that brush.
And Tracy, you did colouring. You did that goddess you showed me.
Yeah, you go.
And you've got that diamond painting that Nina bought you told me about. So I hope that helps a little bit for you, my dear friend. Paint, paint, paint.
Paint, paint, paint.
Okay, so what have we got here? And Agatha would like a spirit message.
Okay.
So a spirit message for Agatha in Poland.
In Poland.
Sending energy over to Poland.
So I have this card for you is saying have faith in the process. And I don't know if she's having a little bit of a, she's literally on her knees. So I don't know if you're having a tough time at the moment or if you're going through something really hard. But it's saying to you, just have faith in what is happening, because it's always, I don't know why I feel I have to say this, it's always darkest before, there's always the darkest before it becomes light. It's that just remember that whatever is going on, have faith in the process, because things happen as they should, they unfold for you. And look at that beautiful little bird on her back that sits there, that guides her. That's like, I always see that as like a little whisper in her ear, he's guiding her, he's helping her out. And on her, this little wagon that she sits, it says, I don't know if you can read there, it says faith. It's like, just keep the faith, whatever it is that you believe in, whatever it is that, if things are maybe a little bit tough, you're going to get through it. There's two birds. I didn't even see that one. There's a little bird here as well. So just keep having the faith. Your angels are around you and keep going forward. Okay, just keep going.
I know that will resonate with Agatha because I know her story.
Okay.
That's beautiful. Wow. So I got for Agatha, I think that's the Sacred Rebels Oracle.
Yes, it's this one. From Alana Fairchild. Yeah.
That's beautiful. I don't have that one.
Do you have it?
No, I don't.
No,
I know of it, but yeah.
It's one of my favorite decks. It's absolutely, I work with it every day.
It's beautiful. And Agatha, I know Agatha, that makes sense, doesn't it? I know Agatha understands that message.
Oh, good. I don't always understand when I get the message and I just share it and it's like, you don't know what it means, right? For me, but good.
And we've got and Agatha, you're going to love this one. You got the Star card.
Oh, look, that's so beautiful.
So Agatha lives in Poland. She's trying to get back to India to her family.
Okay. Oh my goodness, look, where's that card? She's on a little trolley. See there? She's on a trolley. It has
she's on a trolley.
Yeah, it's hard to see.
She wants to go on a journey.
Yes, she's on this little trolley with wheels with two little birds, and she's just praying to move forward. And this is saying, have faith in the process. It will work out as it should work out.
And with the
sorry, I'm
pandemic,
interrupting you.
with the pandemic, it's sort of.
Yeah.
But Agatha, I have the beautiful star card. And Laurika's card brought up faith, and this one's bringing up, it's the hope card in tarot. We all know that. And that star will guide you. The angels will guide you. They're lighting up the night sky. There's going to be a celebration. It's a wonderful time in your life. Difficulties will fall away, and the light at the end of the tunnel is a star you can wish upon. Have faith that things are going to turn out beautifully.
Yes, faith. Have faith in the process. Yeah.
Have faith
in the process.
And Agatha, this one fell out of the deck, and it's the guardian of action.
Wow.
So it's your time to step up and be the leader. So you're in the spotlight, but Agatha, you have a look. Now, does he look a little bit Polish, or what nation? It's definitely tapping into like another culture. So that's what I feel, Agatha. He sort of looks sort of looks Polish or Indian, doesn't he?
Yeah, yeah.
And I know that's where she wants to travel.
Yes.
So I hope that helps you, Agatha.
It feels very positive that it will work out, right?
I'm not sure, but similar, yeah. The guardian of action, things are going to happen. Things are going to happen. Yes. So you know someone too. This person is a person who is inspiring and very charismatic around you. A very male energy that's inspiring, and you've got a very charisma around you. A nice connection. Does that help you, Agatha? I know I waffle a bit.
No, I don't think so.
So what have we got here? So I hope that helps you. And solar eclipse in the third eye, Evie, great connection with the colours for Tracy's purple. For all of us, new starts, new paths, new world.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
We are all once a seed, the seed connected to the earth, and you were born, pushing your leaves out through the soil. Now you are the greatest tree on earth. Enjoy the beautiful Tash.
Yes.
The goddess is with me for sure. And I think and Rain's got Burb, everything right path. So I think we just have Tash, a card for Tash. Okay, Tash. What did you want? Here we go. I would appreciate a message from you both. Okay. I might try this one. Okay.
This message is quite, it's something that, from what I don't know you, Tash, but all the comments that you've made, you are very, it's really interesting that this card comes up, because maybe you will understand it, but you are already in the light. So maybe it's just an affirmation of something that you already know, but it's relax the hold of darkness and be at cause. And it's saying that you stay in the light, right now,
Yes.
whatever's happening, stay in the light. Make sure you I don't know if you work with the bringing the light down from the from the universe down and surround you, but you can do that as a practice. You probably know about this already, but just bring down the light around you and surround yourself with this beautiful diamond light from the sky. Yeah, that's all I've got.
Now it seems we're getting these. So you got enlightened.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah.
So this is, I just look, 19 is the sun in tarot.
Mm-hmm.
Number 19, I don't know if number 19 means anything to you, Tash, but it says in light, and it is sun, shine your light brightly.
Mm.
And you definitely shine your light. Oh, yes.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Just keep doing what you're doing, basically. I think it's just an affirmation from this side of you doing the right thing. You're already doing what you should be doing.
Yeah, you've
You
already
don't need to.
begin.
Yeah.
And you see the light, the sun.
Yes.
The sun is shining through.
Yes. Yes.
S for sun. And I've got the letter S here. I don't know if that's connecting to the sun, a beautiful sun energy around, or someone starting with S or month S, 19, the number 19. But there's like a sun energy, and you've got the purple as well, like Tracy had. The third eye, that beautiful colour.
Mm.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. That's beautiful, Tash.
Beautiful. Yeah, she got, yes, you know me. Yeah, you got beautiful. And Agatha said, actually last week I got same card twice as a message. It was Pronghorn Antelope from Oracle Deck, and it's about action too. I thought it's time for me to rather do something and not get depressed.
Mm.
Beautiful. Yeah. Stay bright, Agatha. So what you got? I do, yes, I bring it down, I send it out. Yes, I have been leaving myself out, I understand. Thank you, Laurika. Yes, you are shining. Shine your light brightly. I'm so high above connecting to us. Go to this moon, the light. Oh, wow. Tash knows oh no, Rain knows her spirit. Thank you, Rain. You know your numerology, new beginnings. That's beautiful. One person. Thank you, Rain.
Yes.
I drive out into the galaxies. Yes.
Yes. Like
well,
that.
Lovely ladies. I have to go. Oh, thank you, Tracy. Appreciate you.
Tracy.
Thank you to everybody. Thank you. Namaste. About the same as the last live. That's good. So thank you, everybody. It's been wonderful. And a big thank you to you, Laurika, for staying up so late too. And I know you hurt your arm.
Don't worry. Thank you so much, everybody. And thank you, Evie. It was amazing to chat to you. Really, really amazing.
It's been an honor. Yeah, really, really beautiful to everyone, I'll say. So thank you all. And for being our friends and for joining in. Yeah. Thank you, everybody that popped in. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time. Just send me an email if you need to talk to me. Bye. Or Laurika. All her details are below. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.